Altered Sparrow religion. Sparrow. You know, little brown bird. Um, this came from a dream that the Lord gave me. In this dream, I was a great white eagle, and I was flying at the back of a line of a long line of great white eagles, and this little sparrow came and landed on my back onto my left shoulder, and I began to fall, and I went right down to the ground from just the weight of a little sparrow. And I looked at this little sparrow, and it didn't have normal wings. Its wings had been altered. The wings of this little sparrow had been redesigned. It looked really pretty. They looked a lot like peacock tail feathers, but they were full of holes in the middle, you know, and it couldn't fly. Been altered so bad that it couldn't fly, even though it had those beautiful altered wings. So I thought about what the Lord was trying to say in this. It's that an altered religion can bring down the best of us. When God has you set in a super high position and you begin to let fake religious things come in and be a part of who you are, and you support those things, it'll bring you right down to the ground. King Solomon is a good example of that. God's anointed. King Solomon had multiple wives. He took wives of every place that he went. I'm thinking, and one of the biggest mistakes he made was, well, women was his weakness, obviously, but one of the biggest mistakes that he made was he invited the Queen of Sheba to Israel, and he showed her all the treasures that Israel had. Let me tell you, folks, never show your treasures to your enemies. You know, let your enemy think that you're the poorest man on the face of the earth. Let him think that you've got nothing, you know. And the only thing that you really know how to do is fight. And you got plenty of swords. You got plenty of guns. And that's all you want your enemy to know about you. And but he didn't. He went and bragging and stuff like that. But to his enemy, and Israel paid the price for that later on. Ethiopia attacked Israel later on and carried away the Ark of the Covenant. So, but all these other wives of Solomon, they brought in pagan religions, and there's a lot of people that believe that King Solomon didn't make it to heaven, that that he missed heaven. And then that's another set of things to talk about altogether, because some people believe that no one in that era made it into heaven. Kind of goofy thoughts to me, but anyway, like this fellow I told at work, I said, listen, when you please God, everything you have goes up. When you don't please God, everything you have goes down. Am I making sense to you? You know, in any fashion, shape, or form or place that you live in, that takes place. But when we as people want to improve our lives, want to improve our places where we live, and our family, and material and spiritual, and gain and get opportunity and have God bless our lives, we can't afford to entertain these sparrows from fake religions. You know, there's sparrows that creep in among us that are a part of who we are. They say they are, but they only come there for the money. You know, they only come there for the prestige. They only come there so that they can be associated with you or with this other person, pastor, evangelist, whoever it is, be associated so they can look good, and they really don't care. You know, I knew this fellow that was come to our church, and he began to slap around my kids, claiming to be a preacher. He claimed that he was one of the bravest men ever was, bold in the ministry for God, witnessing for the Lord, and how that the Spirit of the Lord overtook him, and all kind of stuff. But then here he was slapping my children, you know, and he had no business slapping my children at all. That's a good way that you can tell that these people are not who they say they are, and that they are of a sparrow type nature, an altered sparrow type religion. Okay, so anyways, the Bible talks about, Apostle Paul talked about these people. Paul called them wolves, you know, and that's exactly what they are. Wolves in sheep clothing. That's exactly what you are. Okay, God bless. Thanks for joining me. One of these days we're going to have some really good talks. Extremely interesting. If I got to work, I could talk when I'm not so tired. It'll get a lot more interesting. Amen. We'll see you next time, Crossing the Middle Ministry.